Where we last left our heroes, they have entered the town of Damhammer, a township at the base of a large dam gumming up the entire river that had once fed this now infertile land. The town is run by a clan of, let's just say, cowboy orcs that ride rhinoceri. I think that's a fair description. And they came face to face with a old friend, or at least a old acquaintance to some of the party, one Harper Valentine, who they had met in their first journey together to the north. They were brought into town along with Dogad and Spike and, let to set themselves up when they were given drastic news by the town's Seer, known to them as the Green Seer, that a battalion of stone men were heading this way from Oasis, sailing across the Great Sea. Battle will be upon them in the morning as we check in with them, setting up for the inevitable conflict.
So now, are there walls around this city, Nick? The layout of this city is what's interesting to me.
The layout of this city, to give you a good example of what you're dealing with, it's set in the kind of like the crook of the the crook outside of the waterfall that's coming down from the dam. To your west, your immediate west, is the massive wall of the Damhammer Dam that is holding in all of the water of the Great Sea Oasis.
Damn beavers. I see.
So yeah, probably that is what is immediately to your west. To your north, there is a small hill land. There's a bit of farmland to the north that leads to a small cliff face that was artificially built to help support the dam, and a small pathway, like a small hillscape that leads upwards to higher ground, where the Green Seer has stated that the army will more than likely land at first dawn. To your east, there's not much by means of fortification. It mostly is just a colony that stretches downriver, as this is the most fertile of land in the area. There's farmland out to your east, a little bit of farmland and pasture land to the north, where, if you recall, coming in from the northeast, that's where a lot of the grazing fields were for some of the larger, let's say, cattle, being elephants and rhinos. That's where they tend to reign, where some of the orcish ranchers have a bit of land. If you can call them ranchers per se, it's not exactly a it's kind of it's a community, but it's not like horrifically well organized. They're just a tribe. So you see Harper running around trying to ferret out as many able-bodied soldiers as he can, trying to build a militia, sending out people left and right to try to cobble together what force this place can muster. And eventually he runs back to you as everybody's kind of clamoring about. Well, kind of a bit of a shame that you couldn't be resting a little bit more. But if you lot wanted to leave, I'd understand.
Where Asmo music goes, thank God. Puts the blades away,
Reach out and grab Asmo by the back of the scruff of the neck. You're not going anywhere. Come on.
I just gained the ability to live long.
I've never been the type of person to leave someone to their fate.
It is not in my nature.
Well,
You carry a lot of jewels on it? Is that one of those places that, like, people don't have good bank accounts, so they wear all the riches on them?
we ain't got much for riches around here, I'm afraid.
No, I mean the guy's coming. The guy's coming, I mean.
Hard to say. Depends on what they're sending. There are some, over in Oasis that dress a bit fancier, but...
Asmo just starts rubbing his hands.
Excellent.
I suppose the best way we could get our answers is if we went and talked to the Green Seer herself. I haven't been able to get a whole lot of information, just... I have to go round up what men I can.
Quick question for you. The fellows that you were speaking to just before they left town just a little bit ago, those the rangers that you were sending out?
Yeah, they're out there by now.
I can get them back for you.
He looks at you curiously.
Any of them speak common?
Maybe. Not very well, though.
Tell you what, how do you say village soon under attack, come back in Orcish?
He gives you like the brief Orcish for like Ukta Bichtabunta.
Daenerys cast sending on one of the boys that he saw talking to Harper, and I relay the message.
Now sending, that can be anybody that you've seen, or do you have to know this person?
That is known to me, and I've seen them. So, talking to them, I assume that I would have knowledge of them.
All right.
Anybody that I have knowledge of.
I'm going to say, roll me a just a straight arcane check to try to get the person that actually speaks common.
26.
Actually, I guess you're speaking it in Orcish, so this was morely just you translating properly. Sure enough, you deliver your message. In the back of your head, you get a startled, surprised Orcish response that you can't quite make heads nor tails of.
And I relay it over to Valentine.
Give me an intelligence check to try to relay the message that you just heard. Okay.
24.
Go figure. The wizard has pretty good intelligence.
Damn.
Yeah, you're able to trace the words word for word as they're coming into your brain. Vutna Victatura. It's basically Harper lets you know that they said they had just made camp, but they will turn and rally back as fast as possible. They should be back in Harper doesn't know how far out they are, and he's unsure if they'll make it in time for the battle, but you know you have reinforcements coming at the very least. At least one squadron of them.
Well, you've already helped a lot more than I ever could have asked. I'm gonna go door to door with a few people and try to gather some forces. If you wish to speak with the Green Seer, she might be able to give you a bit more information on what's been going on.
Good. I'll need to know before. Go ahead.
Yeah, just basically saying like she might be able to give you a better information on what you're dealing with while he's shoring up whatever resources he can for defense.
How much time do we have, Valentine?
According to her, last I spoke, we have until first dawn.
Okay.
If you can acquire a piece of the hardest substance you can get a hold of in the town, I can build fortifications out of that substance.
I'll see what we can wrangle.
Good.
And with that, he starts rushing off and barking orders at various orc men who are standing around who look dumbfounded by the situation that they're in. You were left alone. Doggett is off to the side with Spike, just pleading. Like, it looks like he's just talking at Spike right now.
I thought he
Spike's
left.
Oh, no, he didn't leave.
Oh.
He's trying to convince Spike to go, and Spike's just sitting there wagging his tail slowly, just looking up at him silently. Very stoic expression on Spike. All things from what you know of him. So what's your plan?
Asmo, can Asmo put on some new breastplate?
Yeah, you fit it on. It's a little tight. You adjust the straps a little bit so you get the flexibility that you want. And you have your nice mithril crop top on.
Excellent, excellent. Just showing off the wonderful snake body belly, the snake belly. Excellent.
Yep, the breastplate kind of ends at the breast. There's like a little bit of metal going down your sides, but it doesn't quite go to where where it would protect the kidneys. And you can kind of float your cloak over the rest of it. But it does cover up your brand.
Okay, excellent. Alrighty then. Asmo steps into that like he's playing Dead Space. Well, Asmo's putting that on and cinching himself in.
Anybody have anything they wish to do, or do you just...
Green Seer is probably the best one, unless the others have plans.
I do have something that I wanted to do before that, but I do think we should also go see the Green Seer.
Good call. Which what is Wolfgang's objective right now?
Okay. Wolfgang is going to summon Requiem.
Sure enough, easy as any other time you've done it, Requiem just pops right into your hand.
I just thumb over it for a little bit.
It feels same as it ever has, warm and familiar to your touch. Every nook and cranny of the gun just...
I think, old friend, this time I might need a bit more power. And I break my pact with Requiem.
Ooh.
And instead, I forge a new pact over the course of 2 hours with Crescendo.
All right. Requiem grows slightly cold in your grasp. It goes from being a +2 weapon to a +1 weapon.
It goes from being a +3 weapon to a +1 weapon.
Yes, that's right.
Well, as Asmo's suiting up the armor, he looks over at good old Connor, good old Wolfgang, goes,
What are you doing, Wolfgang?
I am trying to give us the best possible chance of getting up.
Yeah, a few passers-by stop to look as this ritual that you are going through is casting off a bunch of radiant light as Crescendo is beginning to basically meld with your soul. But this is going to take a couple of hours for you to complete.
One to break the pact and one to seal it with Crescendo.
Yep. So at the moment you're still breaking the pact with Requiem. Is there anything that anybody would like to do for 2 hours? I'll say that if you wanted to get a full rest in, you probably have 4 hours before you need to get that rest.
So, hey, Denier.
Yes, T-Wig.
Are we, like, fighting some people? What's going on? I'm confused.
Yeah, so a bunch of, apparently the stone people are going to be coming into this town, more than likely to try to hurt a lot of people and to take stuff that doesn't belong to them. And we're getting ready to help the orcs fight them off.
Oh, okay.
I kind of put my hand to my face.
Do you think I should split in two?
Split in two? He tilts his head.
You know what? Yeah, probably I should. I'll maybe do that when we start the fight. We'll do that. Okay. In the meantime, let's talk to the Green Seer maybe while Asmo there is checking out his boob plate, and I don't know what Wolfgang's doing, but he's staring at the sword like he wants to make out with it.
I might be here for a while. You can go on without me if you need to.
He says,
Yeah, do we need to go talk? We need to go talk to that Seer, right?
Yeah, the Seer is apparently one of the only ones that have knowledge of magic in this town.
Well, All right, you two better beeline in there quickly. I'm gonna
Okay.
guard. I'm gonna guard old Wolfgang here to make sure no one comes and takes his hat.
Or make sure he doesn't make out with his sword or gun.
No, if it happens, I'll tell you. Don't worry.
Okay.
All right, so Denier and T-Wig, you guys start making your way towards the ziggurat, where the clattering of the bell is still ongoing. You see that there is a light emanating from the topmost level, this kind of cubic building at the top of the moderately sized ziggurat. You start walking up the stairs, and as you make it to the top, you can see that the bell is just sort of ringing itself off to the corner of this area up here. It seems to be enchanted. You smell the sense of... You smell like incense and various exotic spices as you begin to make your way towards the doorway. It's fairly well lit. There's a lot of brass and various other copper-like metals inside that are reflecting the light of the central torch, the hearth of the room. And off in the there's draperies of various types of fabrics around, various pillows on the ground. There's some a table sitting not too far away from the hearth, a couple of cups of tea on it, and sitting in the corner of the room, kind of grasping at the sides of its gangly head. Like it's this gangly figure that looks quite old. As it turns to you, you see these moss-covered glowing eyes of the Green Seer.
You have come.
Is she speaking common?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yep.
The metal one and the feline.
Okay, you don't have to say it out loud. You know, I'm a little self-conscious about that, but yes.
Perhaps a chance. Yes. A brighter tomorrow.
We've already begun to call back some of the forces that have been sent out.
Arrive in time, we shall see.
We wanted to come to speak with you. Apparently, you're the most knowledgeable of magic within this area.
Knowledge of the arcane. Some, yes. More given than earned.
More, and I cast Druidcraft in my hand.
Like this?
Yes. The land, it speaks with you as well.
Kinda, yeah, I guess.
I kind of scratched the back of my head nervously.
From the far left side of the room, you can see a staircase with a glowing light. And from down there, you hear a bit of clattering.
Someone you were expecting, or?
Expecting no, but have been a company to, yes. They reside, a gift to my niece.
Denier nods a little bit.
What is this thing?
His gift, armor, a crafter of armament.
Two-Eg's ears kind of flip around a little bit. I just cock my head towards Denier.
You remember how we found all those rifle barrels and things like that in the Trog Cave?
Oh.
I think this is their
I get
gunsmith.
it. He eats them.
No, he uses them to make things like Wolfgang's gun.
Just right down his gullet, just like spaghetti.
A part to play he has yet.
Yeah, we're going to want to get Wolfgang to him so he can try to help him out and beef up their weaponry.
The
What was
one with bright eyes.
Yes. He's in the town center at the moment, doing something with his weapon.
Yes. And the serpent.
Guarding him, apparently.
A shadow in the light.
Is there something specific that you need of us? Is there a way that we can be most of assistance to you and your people?
This is unclear. My vision. You will be here. Whether calamity or triumph befalls is unclear. Perhaps I can assist you.
Didn't you need a rock or something, Denier?
I've got Valentine looking for that. A
But if
mundane.
it's magical, you should ask her.
Well, I'm looking for something to build my towers out of. Something very sturdy.
Obelisks of stone amongst the sand.
Yes. Give a great wall for your people to hide behind while the forces rage in.
A good strategy. Mayhaps the inventor should be privy. Bricklight!
She shrilly harks out as you hear another clang downstairs. Just a minute. You hear the clattering of metal as that appears to be dropped to the ground as a shadow begins emanating from below the stairs, growing as it walks further from the light. And as a small hand reaches up to the top of the frame where the stairs meet the floor, you see a middle-aged gnomish man hobble up the stairs.
Oh, hello there. I didn't expect guests, let alone those of the non-green persuasion. Hello.
Good afternoon.
Hello,
He-
my name is Two-Egg.
Yeah, he looks over to you and nods, Denier, and he looks over at T-Wig.
What? No. That armor is gnomish.
My ears perk up, like go straight up and down.
Well, by design, anyway. Certainly not by stature, but... Where
Yep.
did you acquire such pieces?
I was born with it.
His eyes look very confused for a moment, but then it looks like something clicks.
You are artificial. In a manner of speaking, of course. I mean, no disrespect, of course, to guests of this fine establishment.
He says nervously, looking towards the green seer, as she's kind of curling her fingers between her hands.
You wouldn't happen to have anything to do with the fine green seer's warnings now, would you?
What Wait, what warnings?
The attack.
The bells.
Oh, I like you thought that was my fault. No, that's not my fault.
Oh, okay. No, you are not the liberator. I mean attackers.
The librarian? What was that?
Yes, the librarians. Yes, you're not those. No. What brings you? What can I do for you? What can I do for you in this humble town?
Well, a friend named Wolfgang has a bang stick that needs to be better at that, I think. He's currently making out with his weapons, but he'll be up here probably in a little while, so I would definitely give him lots of attention when he's up here and probably give him lots of good things to make him better at fighting.
It's the black powder you're interested in, I understand.
Yep, I think that's what it is, right, Daenerys?
Yeah, we found a lost shipment not too long ago, a cavern, and we brought it back. Black powder, rifle barrels, ingots, things like that.
Yes, my work. They weren't pleased when it disappeared. I got quite yelled at, to say the least.
Well, thankfully we found it for you. But we're looking for a couple things. One is a fragment. It doesn't have to be very big, but I'm looking for something incredibly dense and incredibly hard. Something that would make good armor, but you don't have to have a lot of it. I plan to erect fortifications around the town, and I can create fortifications out of this material.
Well, there's plenty of skulls that would fit that description. But materials, yes. I have some metals. Is there a specific type that you're looking for? Just the hardest, or?
Pretty much the hardest that you can get a hold of.
Something that can take a hit, like boom, boom, boom.
How much would you need?
Not very much. Just a small fragment.
That's not a description. I mean, how much do you need?
I reach out and I pull out the bit of sandstone that I carry with me. About this much.
Let's see. If you'll come with me to my workshop, we might be able to set something up for you. If the Green Seer is fine with this,
he kind of bows his head towards her.
Carry on.
The spell description just says fragment. It doesn't say how big.
Yeah, but he's a technical man.
Yeah. I will head down there with him.
All right. He wanders down. You wander down into what can only be described as a weapons workshop of sorts. T-Wig, do you go as well, or do you stay with the Green Seer?
I would love to go, but T-Wig won't, so I'm probably going to stay with the Green Seer.
All right. Well, Daenerys, this looks very much akin to Timry's workshop. Lots of bobs and ends all about the place, kind of scattered work materials, but the space itself is a bit larger, whereas Timry kind of works in this long, narrow hall, like crawl space of a hallway beneath the shop. This is basically the next tier down of the temple or the ziggurat that you're in.
Mind your step, there's clutter.
That's fine. This isn't the first time walking into a gnomish workshop.
Tell me, where do you hail from exactly? You're certainly not one of the local types.
Originally from the southeast, but as such, since I've moved further to the northeast from here.
Well traveled. I'm from the north myself. I was brought here from the College of Iceforge.
Really?
Yes.
You're actually smiles. That's actually where I'm staying right now. I'm a student at the college.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Well, careful not to have too many drinks late at night. Apparently you can just get snatched up.
Interesting. Daenerys' face, just a look of realization appears in Daenerys' face. You were the gift.
Yes. A gift to the great chiefess Sula. And, I have been creating weaponry for them to better their chances at this game that they're going to. But now it looks like I've got to work a little bit harder in order to make sure they have a home to return to, so I'm not killed.
Do what you can. There will be
Yes.
better days for you, my friend. And Daenerys gives a warm little smile. You will see the North again.
I hope you're right. I hope your visions are as accurate as the hag upstairs. Either way, I have a few ingots down here that might be of use to you. Some bits that I had with me as we were leaving the territory. And he hands you, basically, 2 steel ingots.
Daenerys will only take, he only picks up 1. This will be quite useful. Thank you. If I'm able to find something even stronger, I will have this returned to you.
Think of it as a gift to a fellow scholar. Where are my manners? Brick's light fleeble trim.
Brick's like, I am Daenerys. He offers his clawed hand.
He raises up and grabs your hand. Basically just, he's able to grab 2 of your fingers. Just kind of shakes it.
Your paw pads are soft.
Yes. I try to keep them as soft as I can. I have friends that fawn over them occasionally.
I may have a little piece of weaponry that might be of use. I was working on it, and, well, unfortunately it's a little hard to remove from this area.
He walks over to a tarp kind of in the corner and pulls it back, revealing a massive iron cannon.
Let me guess, it's the size and the clunkiness of it?
When I was building it, I did not anticipate that the doorway would, 1, be up there, and 2, be significantly smaller than the frame. Yes, I have many issues attempting to get it out, and was quite scorned for it.
I can get it out, quite possibly. Daenerys going to look at the cannon, look at the doorway, and he's going to do some math in his head. If I reduce this thing, can I get it out there?
Yes. Reducing it by a size category would make it a... reducing it would probably make it still a little too heavy for you by yourself to carry, but it would definitely be feasible to get it out of this room.
Yeah, I need some muscle, but I could definitely get this thing out of here. And who knows? Maybe that'll look favorably upon you.
Well, if it's anything this horde has, it's muscle, so...
Yeah, this is going to be useful. And I take it, can you teach others how to use this, or is this going to be operated by you?
It's pretty simple. You point it, you put in black powder, you put in your ammunition, and you ignite the powder, and poof! All things considered, I've never been able to test it, but assuming it all goes to plan, it should cause quite a bit of damage to anything that's within, 500 meters?
I could probably make use of this. Put this on one of my fortifications. We could probably get some real good range out of that.
I'd say you might indeed.
I think you and I are going to make very good friends.
It'd be nice to have a friend. It's been a while.
Just one moment. Daenerys walks over, pops his head up towards T-Wig and the Green Seer. Just to let you know, we're going to be able to get your new toy out and into the action before tomorrow.
Good. That will be fortuitous, I can foresee.
And Daenerys pops his head back down and goes back downstairs.
T-Wig, meanwhile, you've been standing with the Green Seer.
So, how long have you been doing the magic that I also know?
It came one day when my vision left me. I was more in touch with the land. I could feel it speaking to me. Sometimes it grants me messages, dangers yet to come. Sometimes it tells me of blessings. It has been many moons.
I used to be able to hear it talk to me, but now it's kind of jumbled. It's like there's another voice there that makes it hard to hear.
I know not what you speak or what you experience. But I have known you before. You are familiar.
What? What do you mean I'm familiar?
Your presence. It is familiar. I have hard time explain.
Like
It
an old-
is
Like how? How am I familiar? What about me is familiar?
these eyes, they cannot see yet.
She turns towards you.
I know where you stand. I feel the land beneath you. It communes. It beckons. It bends.
Is it calling me or us?
This I do not know. But it holds you in a high regard.
Thanks.
A land of many trees, water, furry brown creatures.
They're called squirrels.
No, bigger.
Bears?
Yes, that is what you call. You do not interact, you observe. This is what I see. But it is not your form,
No.
but your
It-
spirit.
It's not that either. I don't think anyway. I think it's just my heart.
The vision is all I see.
Have you ever been there to the overgrowth? The land of the squirrels and the bears, and lots of trees and water.
Oh no. My life has been spent here. Protecting and seeing.
Okay. Thank you. I don't really get to talk to people who have the sort of same powers as I do very often.
I imagine you don't.
It's strange. The most people I've met is in a place where there's not a lot of trees at all. No offense, but I've been to so many places with forests and the druids. There's none there.
This land once ran green. Long ago. Lifetimes before mine. It calls to be that way again.
I guess that's why we're so important then. We really got a job to do, huh?
So it would seem.
Okay. Oh, man. I'm gonna check on Denier. I thank you for talking to you, Green Seer. It's kind of nice.
She just sort of nods and
I'm gonna skip over to the door and she goes,
Denier!
Yes,
You have fun down there?
it's actually quite enlightening. Come on down.
I don't know.
It'll remind you of Timmery's.
That's exactly why I'm hesitating.
Fair enough. What?
You want me to go check on Wolfgang? I just want to see and make sure, because if he needs gun stuff, then he should probably go down there.
Yeah, let him and Asmo know that we've got a cannon.
Okay, I will let them know that we have a cannon.
There you go.
Alrighty. I just
close the door, give a quick bow, like very informal bow to the Green Seer, and I just take off running.
She nods to you. Despite being blind, she does not break eye contact with you.
And I just run out the door.
You do so, and you make it down to where Asmo. What are you up to while Wolfgang's doing all this?
Asmo's just been like slowly eating an apple, watching Wolfgang do this ceremony thing. Like Asmo's doing that thing where he's sitting down there, got his weapons all geared up, good to go, wearing his new breastplate, just going like,
Interesting to watch you work.
By the way, I don't know if you saw my message in the chat. It actually only takes 1 hour to rebind my pact to a different weapon.
Does it? And can you just break it instantaneously?
If I bond with another weapon, the pact instantly breaks.
Okay, so I'll say that you're most of the way through that process by now. Then.
All right. Yeah, I haven't done it in a long time.
What? To why? I gotta ask why. Usually you seem like the kind of guy who, you love your gun. Your little pow pow, point and make the bad guy go away. Kind of stick you got there. Why switch it up right before the onset of a big battle?
Requiem has gotten me through many a hard time. It's been with me pretty much my whole career of hunting monsters.
Yeah.
But this is the first time I've ever gone over something. Now with my family blade crescendo at my side, there's more I can do. I can sense it inside of this blade. But I can't do it unless I connect it to me like this.
Well, many walls behind bad guys will thank you for it.
Just goes back to sealing his pact.
yeah, pretty much. Just like, many.
All right.
Clank, 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 clank. Steiner walking up.
Yeah, oh god, yeah, hell yeah!
Yeah. T-Wig Steiner walks up to you.
I look towards Asma, who's eating the apple.
Well, gee, now don't break a sweat there, champ.
I'm conserving my energy.
Thank
you. Yeah.
I don't get that at all. But that's, you do you.
They say you got time to lean, you got time to lean.
Asmo just looks at his cell phone.
I look down at Wolfgang. Does he look does he look like he's done? Does he look like he's still completely like...
His eyes are glowing in chorus with Crescendo as its flames begin kind of like licking around the edge of the blade. You can see that it's starting to pulse in chorus with. Give me a perception check.
Okay. Oh god, my character sheet's on this other thing because I was preparing spells. Perception. Does that work? 26.
You can see him concentrating so hard on this blade. You get a sense for his pulse. You can almost hear his heart beating as you can see the blade pulsing in tune with his heart. This radiant energy kind of wafting off of it, almost like completely in tune with the rest of Wolfgang's functions. You can tell that whatever he's doing, he's close to being 100% synced up.
Okay, I'm in a Slavic squat like I've seen Asmo do in front of him and just wait until he's done.
All right, it takes a few more minutes. Denier, what are you doing in this meanwhile?
Basically, well, tell me, I know that you have a knack for these mechanics. You were up at Iceforge. Do you have any knack for magic?
Not a whole lot. I of course took some classes here and there, things to fill in what I needed to, but my goal was in the crafting of weaponry and design and it's one of the you know that this is one of the lesser, like, not quite as highly looked upon schools of well, not one of the high, not like one of the, it is one of the lesser highly looked upon scholarly traits amongst that school. Anybody who wants to be something within that academy will adhere to magic, but they do have people that are there to refine their artisanal craft in the trade world.
I got you. I know some folks that have similar skill sets to yours.
Do you now?
Yeah. The brother of a very, very close friend of mine, he has a knack for tinkering and enchanting, and funny enough, I keep on running into those types. I did a job with a fella up near I believe it's Ice Claw, something like that. It's not too far from Iceforge. Frosthelm. It was Frosthelm, and he had this mechanical creature, this mechanical fox.
Ah, yes, those that like to tinker with the mechanical. Artificers.
Ah, that's what they're called.
Yes.
Nonetheless.
Pretty prized craft amongst my people. I never really took a shining to it myself.
I have a friend that's going to be very, very interesting for you. He's currently busy in the courtyard, but I'm going to send him up here as soon as we can. He has a weapon, gnomish made. It is very unique and it is very advanced. It might prove useful for you.
Well, I'd be interested in taking a look at this craftsmanship if you tout it so highly. Why wait? Why not go to them? And along the way, maybe we can find some muscle to lift this.
Fair enough. If the Green Seer will allow it.
I imagine she might, hopefully. Either way, lead the way and we'll see.
And Denier is going to make one quick stop. He's going to go up to the Green Seer. Green Seer, the man in white has a weapon that I wish to show. To motions over to him. We're also going to be looking for some good strapping muscle to be able to get that weapon out of here. We ask your permission for him to be allowed to accompany me for these sorts.
don't need permission. What is done will be done, shall always be done.
Ah, fair enough. Wasn't sure about how things work. Wanted to be proper. I have something that may be of use to you. It's of no use to me at the moment, but I was wondering if you wanted to trade. And Daenerys fishes into his pouch. He pulls out the Scroll of Daylight. From what I observe, this will be able to create light in even the darkest of times, almost artificial daylight. Basically, I can't scribe the spell in my book since it's not a wizard spell. So Daenerys trying to trade for another spell if she has one.
My gift.
She wanders towards you
What is this object?
as she holds out her hand.
He places the scroll in her hand. This is a scroll. Anybody can use this by reading it to cast a spell.
You hand something to be read to one who is blind.
I handed it to you so that you know what it is. I don't expect you to read it, but you have a great many under you that can. And there is a noticeable lack of the arcane in this area.
A fair point. What is it you seek in trade?
I understand that you have an interest in magic and arcane and things of that nature. Knowledge for knowledge, perhaps, if you have if you have come across any kind of spell books in your journey or that have been brought to you.
All that lie within this domain is that of the chiefess and is not mine to give.
And she is at the tournament, I take it.
Yes.
Even, say, not even taking the book, but instead copying from a book, that would not be permitted?
If you wish to take your time to peruse, I suppose it can be allowed.
You have my thanks. And for your kindness and your generosity, please accept the scroll. For one of yours, that may it bring light to them in their darkest moments.
I will see it given to one who is worthy.
Daenerys nods. He gives a little bow, and we will return shortly. And Daenerys leads his new friend away.
All right, you lead him down the stairway. He takes a nice deep breath of fresh air as he looks around.
It's been a bit. Kind of wish the circumstances were a little better, but fresh air is fresh air.
Exactly. And hopefully this isn't the last time.
You make your way down to the area in front of the blacksmith where Wolfgang, Asmo, and T-Wig are... Well, I guess two of them are watching Wolfgang. Asmo's looking at a... Well, T-Wig is watching Wolfgang. Wolfgang is doing his ritual, and Asmo is staring at a rectangular rock.
I think so,
in his palm. Yeah.
Oh, why is Asmo looking at a rectangular rock?
You said you were looking at your cell phone, and this is the only way I can say that you're doing something similar.
That was a complete joke, Nick.
I know, and
God,
I'm
is
adding
this
to
the
it.
salt?
What the hell? This is amazing.
That's weird. Asmo just read. Asmo's actually. Can Asmo do something else?
Yeah.
Can Asmo like walk the streets with his hands behind his back, going like, looking around the place, just seeing what the layout of this city is? You said it was a township, correct?
Yes.
So Asmo wants to check out what kind of defenses they have. What are the quality of the outer reaches of the city? What is burnable to distract enemies? Good question.
You start wandering. You decide that your best bet would probably be to wander northward, as southward is toward the river where they won't be attacking from.
For flavor, can I say I'm walking like a particular kind of anime character?
Sure.
Okay, hands are right behind the head, but clasped with the elbows to the side.
Do you have a straw of wheat in your mouth?
Honestly, I haven't gotten to the wheat fields yet, but it is implied
Okay.
on the way back I will have one.
Okay.
Barring shenanigans.
As you wander northward, you see a lot of people kind of scattering about, trying to gather together as many forces as they can. You can tell that Harper has basically put the boot to a lot of these people to find more in order to assist him. This is a relatively sizable village, probably a couple hundred strong.
All right.
And so the forces themselves, while they don't appear to be, let's say, trained in battle, they are burly folk. They are grabbing weaponry that they can get. Some of them more makeshift, some of them actually fairly crafted. Some of them are carrying battle axes, some great clubs, some are just breaking off fence posts and walking around with like boards with nails in it and shit.
Nice, the ultimate weapon.
Yes. And you make your way kind of to the northern reach of the dam, where you see the cliff face that's probably about 40 feet up.
Okay, so one thing I wanted to ask about this dam. So it's about 40 feet high. I'm guessing concrete-ish or stone.
The dam itself at its peak is it's a 50-foot tall wall.
All right, so now the city is directly below it?
Yes, where the river begins, there's a massive waterfall coming out of like a little piece that's cut from the center of the dam, and this waterfall creates the massive river. The dam itself is probably about 2, 3, maybe 4 kilometers long, that stretches across the mouth of the river, and the waterfall is a good chunk of that. The township is about it starts about a kilometer away from where the waterfall is.
Okay.
Kind of in the armpit of the mouth of the river there.
Yeah, no, I hear you on that one. Okay.
And where you have been hanging out has been in the center of town.
Yeah.
But sorry, feel free to continue
the river
asking.
runs right through the center of town then.
The river is south of town. The river is about 3 kilometers long, so there may be a township on the other side.
Oh, wide.
Another tribe, but you are, yeah.
3 kilometers wide. Okay, so, all right. Interesting. Okay, that changes what my strategy was. Okay, thank you for the clarification.
No worries. So yeah, you're at the base of this cliff face, and as you're walking around, there's a gap between 2 cliff faces with a large hill that leads upward. And as you kind of wander to the top of that hill, you can look behind you and see the township bustling behind you. And you're basically on the outskirts of town here. You got a couple of pens containing ranch animals. In this case, a couple of elephants.
Between the cliff face, there was a hill that went up. Correct?
Yes. Yeah, there are 2.
How many osmos wide is that?
It's probably a little less than a kilometer in length between the width of this hill.
Never mind. Okay, changes it.
All right. Where were the forces planned to come from again? The south or the north?
The north.
Where? The north.
They're planning
okay.
to come from the north, where Asmo is surveying right now.
So
He
where
looks
we
out-
came from, essentially.
Yeah, but further to the west than where you came from.
Okay.
You entered from the east. They're coming kind of from the northwest. And as you look, you basically travel to the top of this hill between the 2 cliff faces, which is annoying to travel up, but not insanely difficult. You look across this plain, this flat grassland where a small, not necessarily a harbor, but a bay of this oasis sea meets the land. And you can see that this is probably where the battle will be decided, and where all your battlements will need to be set.
Battlements. Well, hopefully the townspeople have gotten started on that.
Oh, yeah, as you're looking behind you, you can see people constructing various palisades that should be easily moved. And you pluck a straw of wheat on your way back and make your way back to the center of town, where Wolfgang is as Asmo is traveling back, Wolfgang, your ceremony finishes, and T-Wig, Denier, and a small gnomish fellow has got light brown hair, looks very unkempt, kind of tangled and knotted. His face has a number of scars. He has a pair of spectacles on, but one of the glass lenses is missing from one of them. And his clothes are, they seem to be relatively expensive clothes, but they're all kind of like torn up and dirty.
Hello, your companion Denier here said that you might have something that I'd be interested in looking at, and... Hi,
Greetings.
I'm a Brixlight Fleeble-Trim.
Wolfgang Connolly. And I extend my hand towards him.
He reaches out and shakes your hand.
Yes, indeed, I believe I might have something that you'd want to see. I out of reflex, I go to try and summon Requiem, but
And
I stop
Crescendo
myself
pops into your hand as you do so.
Yeah.
Oh, that's quite the. He kind of like holds his hand back and he steps back a little bit. Oh, that's quite the blade. It's very nice.
Sorry, not what I meant to show you. Just out of reflex, and I dismiss Crescendo, and I pick up Requiem.
Yeah, Crescendo bursts into a ball of radiant fire that dissipates in kind of a firework fashion from your hand. And you hold forth Requiem. He takes a moment to adjust his, glass and looks at it.
This design, it's incredible. This mixture of arcane and gears,
It's the magnum opus of one Jamat Atson, if you know the name.
I can't say that I do, but his craftsmanship is impeccable.
It's served me for decades.
Incredible.
You can see him kind of like opening it up, looking up every now and again to make sure what he's doing is okay, just kind of gauging your response as he's looking through the chamber of the gun. He fiddles with the triggering mechanism.
He's watching him very carefully, but he's not stopping him.
Yeah. If you want to make any sort of like perception check to make sure that he's not fucking with anything, you're more than welcome to.
I'd also
Absolutely.
like to watch. I'd also like to watch him do this as well, just because gnomes.
Yes, go for it.
Perception. It's gonna be 21 for me.
24 for me.
Well, from
Why
what
am
you
I
can
not walking anymore? Hang on.
It's a good question. From what you can see, he doesn't appear to be. He's not dismantling or adding anything. He's simply looking at the mechanisms and how they interact with each other.
That is, I'm going to have to... I am going to have a lot of notes to write if we make it through tomorrow. That is,
We will.
well, I appreciate your optimism. It's been a while since I've seen a human.
Wolfgang just sort of goes,
T-Wig will like the eyes will kind of narrow, and T-Wig will the ears will kind of droop down and be like,
Asmo whistling.
Asmo walks back in to this scene. Asmo, they are now joined. Everybody's back together, and they are now joined by a small, unkempt gnomish man. I guess small and gnomish is a little redundant.
So everyone geared up and ready to go for tomorrow, and hello. Hi.
There's not really much I can do until tomorrow morning myself, so...
I've got some stuff I can do, but Wolfgang, Asmo, do you two still have that piece of paper that Loxley gave you two? He gave each of us a piece of paper.
Maybe,
I do believe
Don't remember
I
if
do
have
believe I have one of those.
Can I get him?
Yeah, I hand him over my
Your piece
my
of copy
piece of
paper.
yep.
I've traded with the Green Seer to have access to the library, although I don't think I'm going to have enough time to scribe any kind of spells that I can find. But with these will let me do it, even if I don't have access to the books anymore. Also, our friend here has made a rather magnificent weapon that he has since been unable to get out of his workshop, which we're going to be putting into the main battle mount.
Well, it's nothing compared to this, he says as he's still kind of looking over Requiem, but it should certainly do quite a bit of damage if used properly.
Yeah, I'm going to make a floor of one of my battle mounts just for that thing.
Oh, you're gonna whip up the house, huh?
Oh yeah. Hold up a ingot of steel. I'm going to make it out of steel.
Well, right in the middle of town.
Well, closer to the location where we're actually going to be fighting the battle.
Why don't you like set it up and like when they walk over, it just shoots up and sends them off into the air. Yeah.
Doesn't work that way, unfortunately.
Damn it.
It requires like 10 minutes of casting time, I think.
Yeah.
You'd always think there would be a spell to prevent it, but whatever. It's just me assuming I know.
Well, I'm still trying to work on the spell and make adjustments to make it better. You never know.
Brick's light is actually kind of like tapping you on the knee, Denier.
What's up?
Looking down on him. Is he with you?
And you can see him pointing back towards Dogud, who is still arguing with Spike, who is still sitting in that same position. As Dogud is like walking away, he looks back behind him, and Spike's still sitting there staring at him. Oh, God damn it! Walks back to him.
just kind of like walk past without making eye contact, like a kiosk businessman. Just don't look directly.
He wants to be here. The dog wants to be here. He does not, and the dog's winning the argument.
The dog is my best friend.
Huh.
He's a good one.
Huh.
Oh,
We make strange friends, but they're all good people.
you do indeed. He'd certainly be useful on that field, I bet. Oh, but either way, we need to get some people to lift that cannon.
Is looking around, do I see Valentine anywhere?
Give me a perception check.
Okie doke.
Because there's a lot of orcs walking around right now.
Nope, 7.
Yeah, between like the hustle and bustle, like the town has gotten significantly thicker with orc meat since the warning bell has gone ringing. They're getting more and more organized, but there's still a lot of people running around in a bit of a chaos right now. So you're hard pressed to spot Harper amongst them.
All right. Denier's gonna call out in common. Oi! I need a few good, strong orcs that can move fast.
Persuasion with disadvantage.
Okie doke.
As you're one yelling over chaos, and two, not a lot of these people speak common.
5.
Yeah, they seem to pay you little to no mind.
Well, I mean, worst case scenario, we could probably get Dogud to take it, but we just got to get it up the stairs first. I can make it a lot smaller. Slowly look at Asmo.
What? What's up?
I might need you. I might need those snake muscles of yours.
I also, since we have not slept yet because the battle hasn't happened yet,
I feel really bad because I legitimately prepared my spells last week for the fight, and I can't use spells now because it's the same day. But I think I have one wild shape form left, so I do have a wild shape form left. I
Okay,
will
you can turn into something strong.
And speaking of getting ready for tomorrow,
Aswan just gestures over his shoulder. Dogud arguing with Spike.
So, like, what's the deal with Dogan? Is he gonna stick around? Is he gonna head back? I tried enticing him, but, looks like he might need some convincing. And I think the only one he truly respects is,
And Asmo just points right at T-Wig.
Loop.
Do you want me to talk to him?
I mean, he can't get mad at you. He can get mad at the three of us, but not you.
Well, okay.
No, you have to do some... You have to really go out of your way to get mad at you.
Okay.
I just walk up to Dogud.
You can see him talking.
All right, this time I'm actually going to leave, and you're going to come with me, because it's time to go home, all right, boy? All right, here we go, and we... Get up, damn it!
Oh, he looks down, he like turns away, turns back. Oh, come on! Spike's laying down now.
How's it going, guy?
I'm trying to get Spike to come along with me. This ain't got nothing to do with us.
I think it might. But I mean, that is your choice, of course.
Yeah, it is. It's my choice, and I'm trying to make the choice that we should be fucking going, Spike.
Spike rolls and shows his belly.
Ah!
Aren't you tired of living in the mountains?
Well, what's to be tired of? Lots of views from both sides. Yeah, lots of snow. There's a volcano. It's kind of neat.
It is pretty cool.
Yeah. Hot,
Never
really,
mind.
but...
I take it back. Forget that. You had prime real estate right up there.
Yeah, it's good. It's good living. Good living, Spike. Come on.
I mean, it's not really living. It's like surviving.
What's the difference?
Living means you affect the world around you. You make changes. You make the world better. Surviving means you just kind of hang out until, time passes and, goodbye.
I mean, like, what? So, affecting the world, that's what living is.
In the best of ways, yeah. I mean, I could have just sat inside of the workshop where I was born the entire time, and yeah, I would be fine, but... I mean, I wouldn't have met you, or Spike, or Asmo. Probably would have met Wolfgang, but... I don't know. Not only did I change the world in little ways, but the world also changed me. I can speak lots of words now. I know what fucking is. It's just...
Dogud just nods sagely.
It's just like when you stay in one place for forever, the world kind of just passes you by.
He looks down at Spike, who's just rolled back over onto his tummy and is just like looking up at him.
Is this the bullshit you're on about?
Spike just kind of cocks his head.
Look, if we stay here and we do this, we help this whatever, we help them live, then we go. We send them on their way, we go. I need you to promise me, Spike.
And he kind of like kneels down and looks at him, like dead in the eye.
This ain't our fight, mate. This ain't our fight.
Unless you want it to be. Of course.
When it's done, we're leaving. And I will carry you off if I have to, Spike. Fine. What can I do to help? So we can get this over with.
We need some help carrying a cannon. You want to help with that?
Fuck's a cannon.
It's like, okay, all right, man. Let me just explain.
You start explaining what a cannon is as we make our way towards
He's just
the building.
nodding.
And it's just like, it makes this super loud noise like thunder, but then this big ball comes out and is like, and then it's just like,
and like I'm doing a terrible shit job of explaining it.
but he's nodding as if he's completely understanding. As you walk back toward the center of town with this giant at your side and the dog walking at your other side, you are given a very wide berth by pretty much all of the orcs who like look back like, oh shit, and they just clear a massive path in the street for you as you make your way towards the ziggurat.
Hey, I was thinking, you know, you kind of got this sort of like natural, like tough exterior sort of thing going on. I see 2 breastplate pauldrons on either shoulder. Like that's a look. I think that's a look.
Maybe they can give me some as a reward for helping save their lives, I guess.
I'm sure they can lend some to us if we ask nicely. Where's the gnome guy? Where is he? Hey, Brick.
Yeah, he's there as you're they're about half up towards the top of the ziggurat by the time you get back. Asmo, Wolfgang, Denier, and Brixlight. And at the top of this ziggurat is about eye level with Dogud.
Jesus. Okay, maybe he can't help us with the cannon.
The ziggurat itself is only about 20 feet tall. There's 3 levels to it.
Actually, to be fair, your reduce spell only lasts like a minute, doesn't it? Or like, yeah.
Yep.
So
you
then
still
after
have to get it up the
If we
stairs.
can get it out, Doga can
after we
take
get
the
it
rest.
out, Doga can get it the rest of the way. All right.
Yeah.
Alright,
Brick.
so where's this thing I got to lift?
Oh, I believe that Denier and Asmo and Wolfgang are gonna load it out, and then you're gonna take it the rest of the way.
Brixlight is kind of like shaking right now. He's looking at a creature whose like the teeth of Dogud are probably about as big as his torso. So
Wait a minute.
Great.
You
Fucking
can have a
right.
one.
Just a second.
We have what can only be described as a one-piece-esque difference of body types. here.
yep.
Yeah.
How big is the cannon, Lanny? Thank you.
The cannon would be classified as large.
It's a big cannon.
Hey, Brixlight. Quick question for you.
Yeah. What's up?
Is there any way that we could modify the cannon so that Dogud here could use it like a rifle?
I mean, the reloading process of it would be a little difficult for somebody of his stature, maybe, but it's a possibility, maybe.
In my professional opinion, I feel like Dogud is much better with the things that he's more comfortable with.
He's kind of like he's picking his nose with his pinky.
Yeah, what?
Yeah, he's better with the womp stick.
Oh yeah, good old womp stick.
Kind of like reaches behind his back and like jiggles this massive piece of wood that he's carrying with him with the
I think
crushed metal bits at the end.
I'm not an expert at combat, but my brains are telling me that perhaps going with the things that we're more comfortable with and more efficient with might be safer than going with stuff that might be a bit riskier.
Yeah,
Cool
that's
would be, I think function over form would be a bit conductive.
I'd agree with you there. All right, let's go. And Denier starts wandering towards the ziggurat.
All right. Yeah, you guys go in the ziggurat and you're able to cast your spell on the cannon pretty easily. It shrinks down to, well, medium size, thereby making it carryable and maneuverable out the stairs, but you still need people to carry it for you.
All right, everybody, let's go.
I'm gonna help Asmo. I'm not gonna roll a strength. I'm just gonna help Asmo. Give him a little pep talk.
Yeah, I'll also help anybody who's trying to lift this thing.
Well, I'm not, so
Are
it's
we
gonna be
sure
probably
we
you
don't?
and Asmo.
We sure we don't?
Everybody's
want Dogud?
cheering on Asmo.
Can Dogud's arm is the size of me. Can we get him? Like
It's
can't
too
shoot through the
narrow. He can't
building.
reach down there.
well, get a stick. I don't know. Oh my god.
All right,
All right, Asmo, athletics with advantage.
Wolfgang, you help as okay. T-Wig, you help Asmo. Wolfgang, I'll help you. Let's go.
Okay, so you remember
Alright,
how Homer had the
so-
stone of triumph attached to him? That's kind of what. I was
Okay,
like,
so,
"Ah!"
yes. So Asmo and Wolfgang, athletics with advantage.
I'm going to break my back. Natural 20.
Oh my god.
11.
No.
21 because advantage.
Oh right, 21.
Yeah, Wolfgang, for whatever reason, the weight on the side that you're lifting is balanced incredibly well, so you're able to lift the easy side as Asmo is just like contorting his body trying to pull it up the stairs.
Can I vengefully flavor this in a way that makes a lot of sense why it's so easy for him?
Yes.
Motherfucker has handles on his side.
Yes. He's carrying the side with the bar that allows you to maneuver it.
Everyone in this goddamn
Did they not
room
put
knows what
handles
I'm
on your
talking
side?
about. Everyone in this chat is like, oh fuck, there's no handles on the side. You're trying to feel that spot where you can just get your fingers around it just enough that you can put some weight on it.
All right, so you strain and you stretch and you pull and you manage to get it up the stairs to the point where Dogud can reach it. Where he just picks it up with one hand.
And after that, I'm going to lead Dogud out to the battlefield. And
you start heading out that way, at which point, about a part of the way there, since the spell only lasts for a minute, it begins to grow, and he's like, oh fuck. He has to use his other arm to kind of cradle it. But you guys carry it out to the battlefield, where I will now, Harper is meeting you with a few platoons of troops at his side, and here's where I'll kick you over to your preparation map.
Okay.
Oh boy.
The only thing you guys can't maneuver is the tower. Denier, you just got to ping and tell me where to put that.
Yep.
So you have 5 palisades, you have the cannon, you have 3 platoons of orcs. An additional platoon of orcs is going to man the cannon. You have Harper, you have Dogud, and the smiley face is you guys.
Hooray.
As was just saying while they're pushing the cannon out.
We agreed to do this for money, right? Like, we're not doing this pro bono.
I think we're doing this under the impression that we'll be allies in the future. And, you know, not allies to a bunch of dead people.
Also, they have like food and water and stuff, Asmo. Come on.
Now you can make that yourself. Both of you can.
As you guys approach and you're kind of bickering amongst each other, Harper walks up to you.
All right, can we focus up here? These are all the resources that I could gather, and I need some advice as to where to put it.
And here is where we will take a quick break as you guys decide where you're going to be putting your defenses up. All right, so it's the night before, and you've got your stage set up where you believe you're going to have the best chance at fending off this horde. You have your palisades set up here, scattered, trying to create a significant choke point near the entrance of the town. Which, good call. And you have Denier's tower will be set up with the cannon up top. You've decided that Harper, being the quote general of this army, will be up there leading his troops and trying to get the best shots possible. Dogud will be crouching behind this shorter cliff face here near the top of the hill to pepper oncoming troops with large rocks that he'll hurl, and should they break the lines, he will join the fray alongside you guys and Spike. But it's still the night before. You've set up your dress rehearsal. The tower looks solid. You'll build it again in the morning before they land, but now is time where you will need to get your rest in and rest well. But off in the distance, you hear these drums just...
Hand on the ground, I'm going to start casting immediately.
This is way in the distance. You hear it in, like, on the sea. They are still sailing towards you, but they are basically trying to unnerve everybody the day before. And as the time wears on, as you're trying to fall asleep, you also start hearing chanting, Udaka! 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 Along with the percussive drum beat. And anybody who actually needs sleep, I need you to make me a wisdom check, or a wisdom save.
Robbins.
16.
I mean, we all should sleep, right?
Yes, you should.
With a 9, I rest.
All right. And Wolfgang?
Come on, I'm trained in these. 13?
So
Wolfgang and Asmo, the percussive beat just keeps you up as you've never known battle. You've known fights. You've been in fights to the death, and those are, almost an everyday occurrence for you these days. But to hear this army drumming and chanting, you sleep very unrestfully, and you do suffer 1 point of fatigue for the oncoming battle.
What? Seriously?
Exhaustion, you mean? Not fatigue.
Exhaustion, I'm sorry.
Okay. I was going to say,
Still, like, seriously, a point of exhaustion?
It's only disadvantage on just checks.
Ability checks. Your attacks and everything like that will be fine. That's only when you suffer exhaustion.
Just don't try to go grappling people. You're going to have disadvantage on it.
Yeah.
So skill checks will have disadvantage for you two for the upcoming battle. Denier, you're able to clear your mind, having focused so heavily on not getting your will bent by any outside force. You're able to power through this and get yourself a nice sleep in.
Yeah, the will of Arcanos grants me, I believe it's stillness of mind.
That's right, it does. So even if you did get feared, you would be able to tune that out as an action.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and sure enough, before dawn, you're awoken by the horn of Harper Valentine as he walks through the town, waking people up. You march out to your stations and you construct the tower. Dogud places on top as you see in the distance ships approaching. The drumming growing louder and louder, the chanting growing louder and louder. And as they make port, you see scores of troops begin to descend off these ships, and one large, lumbering form amongst them. You swear the eyes almost seem to glow as it looks off at these palisades in your tower. Thunder cracks in the distance. That is not what I meant to put there.
Oh, Jesus.
And this massive obelisk!
As the troops begin joining in rank and formation.
As they're doing that, I need to do this within 10 minutes. It's not an instant cast. I'm going to place my hand on the ground, and I'm going to summon the elemental that is similar to the golem, the druid golem. And as I do that, I use Wolfgang's item that he gave me to turn myself into that dragonborn. So there's a golem, and then there's me next to it.
All right, what kind of golem?
It is going to be an earth elemental.
An earth elemental. Okay, so rising, rumbling from the sheet rocks beneath you.
I believe the distance. I'm going to put it at the forefront. It's going to be in the front line.
All right, so it'll be in your squad. This battle map is.
I want it like far up ahead, like right at the frontmost part.
All right, I will.
90 feet. Yeah.
Find a good stand-in for your golem.
It is takes place at 4 spots, so.
Let me get my. So yeah, it'll stand out here amongst the kind of near this other battalion. This will be your golem. I'll mark him as Sleepy Boy for golem.
Sleepy golem. His name is Sleepy.
But this army begins to approach, and you see this lumbering form in the back, surrounded by these significantly smaller yet very large-framed warriors. They're still slightly out of range of the cannon at the moment.
I have a quick question.
Yeah, their percussive drumming continues as they get in formation.
Oh, I'm sorry. Am I interrupting?
No, you're fine.
Okay. I'm assuming these measurements aren't accurate.
Yeah, they are inaccurate.
How far away would they be at this point?
They are less than a kilometer, but more than half a kilometer. They're probably about 3/4 of a kilometer from you.
All right. Just curious.
No worries. The drumming ceases, and an eerie silence takes over the field. They begin marching in a formation. Scanning out and spreading, almost in kind of a not quite a arrowhead formation, as they begin marching in. Slowly but surely they make their approach towards your battlements. And as they reach a certain point, from the tower, you hear, "Fire!" And the cannon booms behind you as it fires a massive steel ball into the distance. You can see it cascade, and a massive cloud of dirt erupts around the center of this formation. Chaos seems to take over amongst that squad as the dust settles. You see several, you see that this squadron seems to have been almost cut in half by this massive fire, by the massive firepower of this cannon, but they continue to encroach. And as they do,
Elemental will charge.
All right, Elemental begins its charge as another blast from the cannon begins to wreak its havoc. And sure enough, the squad that was blasted upon is taken out to the point where it is now non-functional.
Lenny, is there a giant... How many people can I pack into, say, 40 foot? Is there a good section where I can hit a number of people in about a 40-foot range, or so to speak? 40-foot area?
How far away can you cast this?
150 feet.
They are still a little too far out for you to hit, but as they encroach, like, let's say when they get to about this point, you'd probably be able to hit them from where you are. And within a 40-foot range, based on the formation that they are currently walking, you'd probably be able to get about 6 or 7 in one shot.
All right.
As the army
holds its actions.
The army approaches, and this squad begins dealing with your begins a melee with your elemental.
Should we roll initiative at this point?
You're not technically in melee combat. And you, in fact, at your range, you're not even within combat range of them. So, technically, no.
All right.
Okay.
This squad over here begins firing arrows and whatever it can towards the encroaching horde. I will say, while you cannot roll initiative, you can decide if you want to move. Like, if you guys want to move out and try to engage them further up the field. Harper does call down, as this troop is slowly but surely being overwhelmed by the squads that are coming up to it. He fires another cannon blast towards that area. And he seems to damage one of the squads. Like, he definitely thins one out, this one specifically, but that has not slowed them, and they are beginning to change their formation as Theridak at their rear begins yelling to spread out. So the cannons will be less effective. Meanwhile, this group is swarming your golem.
All right.
I want you to go ahead and just roll a general attack for your golem here.
General attack, alright. He makes 2 attacks.
That's fair. I'm simply saying as a, unless we want to zoom in on combat while it fights 8 Goliaths, I want to see how many it can take on its own. This
23.
is just a general. 23? Yeah. Alright, you can see as this golem is slowly getting swarmed, it is a very formidable threat against this squadron. It's knocking some down, it's pulverizing some of them to mush as they climb on its back and start hammering at it with axes. He clears out a good majority of this squadron as another one begins, as these other two begin making their way towards this other palisade to try to overwhelm it. This one is they're going to continue in battle. We'll have you roll again in a minute here. This squad is slowly overwhelming this group and are now engaged on two fronts in melee combat.
Okay, they're close enough.
Yep, they are within range of you now.
All right, so now we roll initiative.
Yes.
Okay. Exactly how far out would they be?
They are 150. They are about 150 feet to 200 feet from your location.
Oh, nat 20!
Nice, Denier.
22.
I am incredibly envious of that nat 20, but now it's time for Asmo to 11. Dun 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 dun.
Da, 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 da.
Third.
And T-Wig? Or are you not within range of anything for them?
I am. I can cast spells, but I got a 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Asmo will be starting the battle by shouting out combat time from the Mortal Kombat, the animated series.
Okay. Denier, okay, let me mark these guys properly. Red is squad 1, blue is squad 2, green, which is slightly out of your range, is squad 3.
Alright. Denier brings his hands forward, sends them out to the side, his eyes beginning to glow with arcane power. He thrusts his palms up into the air. You bring war to me? I've been preparing for war for years. A small orange ball appears in his hands. Bigger, it grows. Bigger, it grows. Bigger, it grows. Perfect. And he hurls a giant flaming ball of 10d6 of fuck you damage towards squads blue and red, aiming as much as he can for to keep friendly fire out of it. All
right, I will say, as you are doing that, if you do want to hit both, you are going to be hitting the orcs who are in melee. You can aim for one squad and be able to keep that damage to a minimum, but not both. I'll say that, unfortunately.
Which of the two looks stronger between...
At the moment, red looks significantly stronger. The blue one got peppered by cannon fire already and is kind of down to half its ranks.
Then red it is. I will do my best to obliterate red.
All right. This is a dexterity save.
It is the dexterity save, DC 17.
I'm going to roll 3 dice and average that amongst the whole squad. They all rolled below 10. So, go ahead and roll your... what level did you cast this at?
Level 5.
Okay, roll your 10d6, was it, fire damage?
Yep, 10d6.
Burn, baby, burn.
Disco Inferno.
Burn, baby, burn.
Burn that mother down.
That is 8d6, and I will roll 2 more.
Okay, so we're at 23.
31 damage to everybody in that circle.
All right, as this massive ball of fiery death comes hurtling over the heads of the orcs, they're scared for a moment as they feel this fiery, intense heat cascade over them. The stone men look up with awe, followed by immense fear, followed by immense incinerating pain, as half of their squad is incinerated to dust. The orcs look around. They are stunned for a moment as they give out a mighty roar which has reinvigorated them as they head back into melee.
And the near roars
Fighting on
right back at them.
Yeah, they're fighting a war on both fronts, but now the numbers have been relatively evened out. All right, next up we have Wolfgang.
All right, so I also sort of have an AoE, but it goes in a straight line.
Interesting.
So between Squad Red and Squad Blue, how long would that be?
Are you trying to just maximize how many of you could hit?
Yeah, pretty much.
All right. At your range, you would probably still hit a couple of the orcs because they are in melee. And either option seems bad, but you do see Harper lets you know that the other squad is trying to circle around to the southern flank to try to bolster Red's forces, so maybe thinning out Red would probably be better in this situation.
Okay, so what if I spread the wall from red to green then?
What's the range on that?
Range is, well, I'm trying to cast Wall of Light. The range is 120 feet, but I can close that with my speed. I can close in to 120 feet. I can cast that. Then the wall spreads out 60 feet long.
Okay, so we'll say that you guys kind of shifted this way, and I'll say that you could probably cut through the back of Red and make Green's life a little bit more awkward as they have to travel further in order to do what they were planning on doing.
Okay, I'll just do that. I'll send Wall of Light. I'll cast Wall of Light straight through Red and going towards Green, and everybody inside of the wall needs to make a Constitution saving.
Okay. How long is the wall?
60 feet. 60 feet long, 10 feet high, and 5 feet thick.
Damn it! Why can't that just be the color I wanted it to be? Come on, roll 20. All right. So basically, you cut through the back of the Reds' ranks, and you make a wall of fire that kind of hooks around, stopping their advancement, so they're going to have to move around.
Yes, it is Wall of Light, by the way.
Yeah, Wall of Light. I'm sorry. It's Radiant Fire.
Yes, Constitution. Yes, it is. Constitution saving throw.
All right, let me roll averages. What's the save DC?
Never
mind, they all rolled
16.
below. One of them rolled a 12, and the rest of them got below 10. So,
well, this is going to be real awkward for them. So, they take, and this is cast at level. They take
casters.
Casters. Damn it! All right, so they take 4d8 radiant damage. Roll 4d8. 16 radiant damage plus 4 due to Heavenly Conduit, which lets me add my Charisma modifier to a spell that does fire or radiant damage, so 20 radiant damage, and everyone who failed their saves is blind.
All right, well, they are all considered blind as the orcs begin charging at them. This massive radiant wall of energy pops up amongst their back ranks, incinerating a few of them as the orcs begin to push them back towards it. They, one by one, slowly start crumbling as they are desperately, like maybe a quarter of this squad left, trying to push back against these orcs who are shoving them into this fiery wall of white death. All right. Oh, hold on. I'm still on free draw. That would explain why I wasn't doing much of anything there. Next up, we have Squad 1, who is going to attack these orcs. And the orcs combat back. The orcs are slowly but surely being overrun, being flanked like this. But they're still holding on. Their numbers are dropping, though. And Harper can't fire cannon into that melee. Now Squad Red, who is close to death, begin pushing back the orcs, getting themselves away from this. Oh wait, they have disadvantage, they're blind. Die miserably, horribly. Green Troop seeing that, is keeping a wide berth from this wall as they move down this way and around. All right. Next up, this north troop is finally making their way in. Monty, go ahead and roll another attack with your golem, as this squad back here is currently engaged as the other one's trying to get to the side.
Ooh, 10.
Sure enough, it held out incredibly well, taking out a decent chunk, like maybe 3/4 of this troop back here. But slowly, whittle by whittle,
Oh, this thing is resistant to damage, by the way.
That is something that is worth noting. It is still being whittled down and crumbled slowly.
It has 126 HP and it's resistant to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage.
Yeah, that is a fair amount. Yep. If with that knowledge, actually, it is still holding on, but it is on its back foot.
Okay.
This troop does make its way around the side of it, though, to try to flank other orcs that have been peppering them with arrows. The arrows have been doing some, but not a whole lot, as they are now in melee and being flanked that way. Dogud, who now has a target that is in range, will now start hurling rocks.
Ugh.
And as this troop is making its way around the giant light wall of death, it now sees shadows cascading down the sky, and they begin to scatter as rocks begin crushing Goliath by Goliath. He takes out like a couple of them with the first throw, as he throws another one. Takes out another couple. He's whittling them. He's not doing a whole lot from this range. Green orcs are going to start firing arrows now. Doing less damage than Dogud, but taking out another Goliath or two. Red team is in trouble, though. And Theranak is going to make his way into the melee as well, seeing this massive stone creature basically decimating a squad of his warriors. All right, back to T-Wig.
All right. North Squad's having a hard time.
They are.
Okay. I am going to cast Ice Storm on this squadron here.
And what does Ice Storm do, pray tell?
Wait, hold on. Ice Storm... come on, stop. Nope, cancel. Ice Storm... a hail of rock hard ice pounds the ground in a 20-foot radius, 40-foot high cylinder centered on a point within range. Each creature in the cylinder must make a dexterity saving throw, or take 2d8 bludgeoning damage and 2d8 bludgeoning damage and 4d6 cold damage on a failed save, or half as much on a successful one.
All right,
Hailstones turn the storm's area of effect into difficult terrain until the end of the turn.
All right, you're hitting about a quarter of this squad. Do you want to? Where do you want to encircle this? Towards their rear or towards the front of their forces?
I don't want to hit the orcs, so I'm going to focus more towards the rear because I want to avoid friendly fire. Okay,
you're approximately hitting a quarter of the forces with this spell.
That's fine.
And they fail miserably. Jesus, I cannot get above a 10 on this.
So they take max bludgeoning damage.
All right.
And then they take an additional 4d6 cold damage. Just give me 1 second here. So, Jesus Christ, they take 30 damage.
Okay. So between the arrows that were peppering that part of the squad, a quarter of that squad is now gone. They're being buried in sheets of ice.
Hold on for a second. How did I get a 10 on a d6?
That is a good question, actually.
That's not right. That's Roll20 is doing something. I'm going to re-roll that die real fast. I'm sorry.
All right.
I'm going to re-roll that 10.
Asmo's going to step out.
5. So instead it's going to be 8, 9. It's going to be 13.
13. Okay. Either way, they are not having a good time. You don't quite kill the entirety of them, but they are certainly distracted. You kind of co-opted this black cloud, this thunderstorm that has been following Theranak, and turned it into a hailstorm above them. Something that they did not anticipate, and are definitely being distracted by as the front lines of them are making their way into melee. You've essentially halted their archers in the rear.
Gotcha. I'm gonna have my Earth Elemental just full on go for big leader MacGuffins.
All right. It will do so on its next move. First, we're back up to Harper, who is going to attempt to fire a cannon shell at Theranak as he sees the massive form approaching from the northwest.
I sure hope this doesn't go down like the end of that one movie, Kung Fu Panda 2. Instead, it goes down like that other movie.
The cannon actually hits. It slams him in the side of the shoulder, kind of like shoulder checking him. As he like turns and looks, he sees the tower, and his eyes kind of like light up and glow with this rage. As he also notes that at the base of this tower, a couple 100 meters out, are you guys. He grimaces, picks up the cannonball from like where it landed at his side. Like it kind of it nailed him in the chest, but this dense, meaty man just sort of like absorbed the shock. It looked like it hurt him. It definitely got his attention, but he picks up the ball, and it's not his turn yet, so he can't do shit. So
he's gonna monkey D. Garp it at us.
That's good.
Denier, you're up.
Okay, the squad to the north of Red, are they in range?
To the north of Red?
Yeah.
Yes, they are within your range.
All right. I am going to huck another ball of death at them. They get EC 17 save. 31 points of damage to anybody.
Oh my God! What is
Holy
happening right now?
Level 9
Wizards. Wizards are happening.
Dude,
All right,
there's
there's
just in a flank.
Yeah, you got a war mage at your side here. That's a. Okay, so 1/3 of them will be taking. 1/3 of the people you're hitting in range will be able to take full damage. One of them got one set of them got a nat 20, and the other one saved.
Okay.
So 31 damage to the rear flank. I'll say those are the ones that were getting peppered by arrows already. So 1/3 of the troops that you were able to hit are gone. The other two managed to somehow, like, they managed to find enough cover to stay alive. Half of the survivors looked incredibly burned. The other half look as though they basically just found a bunch of meat shields and stayed alive.
All right.
That being said, it is now Wolfgang.
All right. So from this wall, how far would Squad Green and Blue be?
Green will be able to make it to the blue, like to flank the blue squad in. They can move 2 of these squares in 1 turn, basically. So it'll take him. They could either charge all the way and make it, or they could slowly make it in 2 turns, basically.
All right, I'll assume they're within the range of this then. While my wall of light is up, on action on each of my turns, I can fire a fucking laser out of it.
Okay, what's the range on that laser?
60 feet.
Yeah, you'd be able to hit the front line of them.
Yep. So going for, I'll go for green. Since they look like they're trying to flank around. I don't want them to try and sandwich our orc boys in between them. I'll just, with Crescendo, directing it like a fucking conductor, I'll just point the tip of Crescendo at this group and fire a laser out of it. This is an attack.
Yeah, you draw a laser from the wall of light. So go ahead and roll a general to hit or whatever is required of the spell.
This is a spell attack roll, so it's going to be a d20 plus my spell attack bonus, which is 8 for a 23.
All right, you're able to hit one of the dudes in the front line there.
All right, he takes 4d8 radiant damage. $48 plus 4 because of Radiant Soul. Not Radiant Soul, Heavenly Conduit. He takes 14 radiant damage.
He is nailed by this. He's thrown aback and just kind of like shuffled in amongst the rest of his crew who are trying to charge forward through the pelting of rocks. They now are keeping an eye on this wall. You can't tell if you've killed him or not because of the melee that's about to ensue. But he's definitely fallen to the ground. All right, next up. These squads are encroaching on red. Yeah. One after the other, the red team is just destroyed. And now Theranak.
Drop the flag.
Yeah, red team has dropped the flag. Theranak is going to move in and try to deal with the remainder of your golem. What's your golems to hit?
My golems to hit is
what's its AC?
Plus. Oh, my AC is 17.
25, 19, 27. So with a, you can see from the back as Theranak begins delivering thunderous blow after thunderous blow, which is magical.
Is it thunder damage?
Part of it is lightning, which I know does not do anything to it.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm just not going to roll the. It's immune to lightning, right?
It is not. No.
Oh, so it just resists it? Then I will roll it.
It's not even resistant to it. It's resistant to like physical damage.
Oh, okay. Non-magical physical damage, I imagine, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's immune to poison.
Just like everything else.
Like everything in D&D.
All right. Taking all of the thunderous blows as well as dealing with almost 3/4 of this squad that's been dealing with, it's finally pounded into rubble by Theranak. For the record, it was 105 damage.
All right. It's still up.
After all of the other rounds, though, of it dealing with these squads, I will say that it is surmountably crumbled.
Okay.
But it did a lot more than it wouldn't have, I guess.
I'll drop the Dragonborn and turn back into Two-Wig as well.
Sweet. Green Squad is kind of tired of sitting and waiting, and it knows that basically he hears from Harper that the North has been compromised. Seeing that Blue is still battling for its life down there, it's going to begin to maneuver up that way to try to intercept the encroaching squads. As soon as it's Harper's turn, he will take a shot at them. But first, we got Dogud. Actually, no, first we have green guys who are eyeing the wall, but still moving this way. But can't really make any attacks here just yet. Dogud's going to try to pepper them with a few more rocks. Hits on one of them, but not the other one. He's able to cripple the squad a bit more. And Dogud's going to start marching around the side here. He is a very big boy and can move a bit quicker. All right. Harper is going to have the cannon aim up towards the squads that are coming in. He's going to try to aim for the thinnest one. The one that you peppered with a massive fireball, Denier. And he nat 20s the motherfucker.
Oh my god.
So, as they aim square for the center, a massive shot, boom, fires out, almost deafening the orcs at the base of the tower. They seem to have put a lot more black powder behind this one than they had previously. As the ball cascades and rams straight into the center. It is no more. There's just a pile of limbs and a few crumpled bodies that are trying to crawl away feebly.
This is Asmo's favorite fight, by the way. Just so you know.
He's just been...
All right.
He's been in his idle pose for a long time.
Theranak's just going to absorb the remainder of this squad up to the north, so they will be traveling with him now. And now I believe we are back up the list to Denier.
Those purple boys, they're not on fire.
They aren't on fire. In fact, they seem to be the healthiest of most of the remaining platoons.
Huh.
Actually, green is probably the healthiest, but these guys is comparable.
Well, let's see what a level 4 fireball does. DC 17, and I get one more D6 on top of that.
Let me roll.
What is it? Roll 1d6.
Well, they all failed, so this half of the platoon that you're blasting is...
How do I do the roll command specifically?
There's a dice button up in the upper left corner there. You can just click that, or you can type roll something something, but I usually just click the dice.
Goblin.
You see in the upper left, there's that thing with the arrow, the measuring stick.
Yeah.
It should be one that looks like a D20.
There's a... Oh!
And then you can click on however many dice you want to roll on it.
Yeah, I was doing 2. I saw D6. I didn't realize that you could click on D6 for a single D6.
Yeah.
25 damage to everybody in that radius.
All right, they all take it. They all survive 25 damage. A few of them get incinerated. The ones that were previously damaged are no more, but they continue forward.
And if they have anything that is flammable, it ignites.
Most of them are wearing leather, so...
Well, if they're not wearing it or carrying them.
Oh, well, either way, there's not a lot of fire on these hairless creatures that are marching towards you. Wolfgang, you again. Those guys are still within range of your wall if you want to use your bonus action.
I'm going to turn to my comrades and say, when are we joining the fray? When are we joining the melee?
Now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which ones? We got this one, or this one?
I'm gonna hold on to Asmo. Just preparing a spell for him. Up to you guys. I feel like... Oh god. I think we should help them, yeah.
Alright, we're gonna move. We're gonna rush forward to Squad Green.
Alright. Gonna reinforce. You can, you guys start to head out. That's about as far as you can make it there, but you're still within... You're within... whatever. I can probably move it over to the other map. Let me take a look at her.
That... Just moving there, that's that's our whole movement, correct?
Yep, and this is about where you end up between them.
Okay.
I now would like everybody else to re-roll initiative as you are now entering melee with the squad itself.
Okay.
Nice.
I'm just checking a few things.
11 beans.
That's fine, Kirk, 'cause I have a plan.
That actually works really
the
well.
Initiative button. I keep clicking and it wasn't hovered over the initiative button. 5. I missed. All right.
Let me set you guys amongst the melee here.
Spectacular.
T-Wig. Near. Asmo, you probably have a higher dexterity than this fella. And Wolfgang. All right. Starting up. All of the guys with 2 colors in the back, those are archers.
Okay.
The red-blue archer sees you guys approaching, chooses his target randomly. Let me roll a d4. And begins firing towards the brightest target.
Oh no.
Oh no. With a 15 to hit.
That is my AC.
So it matches. All right. Let me grab their stats again. You take 8 points of piercing damage as an arrow hurtles through the sky and gets caught in your leather vestments, not quite piercing you fully, but it gets kind of lobbed in the side of your shoulder there. But you have little time to react as another one comes careening out of the sky and gets embedded in the ground at your feet. So he misses his second shot. Next up, we have the second archer, the red-green one. He's going to take aim at Asmo.
Oh, beans.
And snap his bowstring with a nat 1, requiring the rest of his turn to repair the damage. His bow was already frayed and cindered by the light that you had cast upon him. So he's already weakened. Next up, we got T-Wig.
All right, I turn to Asmo. I crack my imaginary knuckles that I wish I had, and I'm going to cast Polymorph on him to turn him into a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
What? Oh.
Asmo, your form begins shifting as your hands slink into your sides. As you're reaching down to draw your daggers, your hands begin retracting up towards your torso, like you can't reach them. Then you realize your fingers are shrinking. Is it a huge or a large creature?
It's like 3 by 3, so it's
okay, huge.
Big.
Your nose begins to protrude out as you take the form of a giant Tyrannosaurus Rex.
I turn to Denier and give him this nod, like, let's do this shit.
Denier nods sagely.
And I am going to hide behind Wolfgang.
What? Me?
And I'm going to go prone, actually. I'm going to use half my movement to go prone on the ground.
All right. The two of the remaining... let's see. Yeah, the 3 remaining archers now see this massive fuck-off dinosaur in the middle of the field and begin firing at it.
Shoot her!
What's the AC of a T-Rex?
I'm looking it up right now, except for my thing is not... There we go. Tyrannosaurus is...
Jurassic.
Come on. D&D Beyond, please.
Tyrannosaurus...
13
13.
AC. Yeah.
Alright, I'm just going to roll out all of their attacks and let you know how many hit, as there's a flurry of arrows. 2... you are hit by 4 of the arrows, one of which is a nat 20, as they come, like, hailing out of the sky. You take, as you are peppered with arrows, let's see, that's 8.
You talk. Who's being targeted?
You are, but I'm taking. I'll calculate your damage. Don't worry, Kurt.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay.
I have the health pool here, so.
Alrighty, I am here, ready to go.
A total of 28 points of piercing damage as these arrows pierce your leathery hide. The remainder of them kind of glance off you or get scattered about your feet or behind you.
All right.
Bet he looks like a fucking badass with this fucking killer scheme.
Yeah, he's a black and yellow T-Rex that now has a massive arrow sticking right between its eyes. Which is where
and
the
one
D20
golden
landed.
tooth.
Yeah.
Yeah. His one of his larger fangs is gold.
I would like to roll to begin the song from We're Back, starring, of course, the great actor that is John Goodman as the T-Rex. Yeah.
All right, this guy is going to move his full speed and hurl a javelin at you, Asmo.
Real fast, Monty, about the damage. You said you were calculating it?
Yeah, she's keeping track of your health.
Here, I'll send you a link to what your attacks are, so you can go ahead and have fun with that.
Okay, thank you as well. By the way, I was saying I have 76 health. Do I have more health now that I'm a T-Rex?
No,
all of the T-Rex health is considered bonus health. Don't worry.
Yeah, you don't take any damage. You're not taking damage. Your T-Rex form is taking damage. I'm calculating that for you. So you shouldn't have taken any damage.
Speaking of damage, this javelin gets hurled straight into the side, kind of piercing just under the rib cage of the Asmosaurus Rex. Okay. Taking 5 points of additional piercing damage.
Okay.
By the way, Kurt, if you see up in the top right corner, you see the little eye with a circle around it.
No.
You don't?
Oh, which the eye? Oh,
top right on like the chat bar, you see like a cog in the list.
I sent him a link to the Tyrannosaurus Rex. He has it.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Denier, it is your turn.
with all our information.
Denier
Sorry.
looks over at T-Wig for just a second. He nods a couple of times. I think it's time that you grow, Asmo! He reaches out, touches the back of Asmo's foot, and casts Enlarge!
So now you have a massive, gigantic Asmosaurus Rex! Jurassic Park roar ensues.
Bob, I wish I could high five you right now.
Yeah.
And speaking of which, unless you have a bonus action or anything you'd like to, or a movement you'd like to use, Denier?
I am going to make myself as small as possible and back off just a little bit.
All right. Asmosaurus Rex,
defenses.
it is your turn.
Let's pick it up from Digimon the movie starts playing. As you
Let's pick it up. So you can make 2 attacks. I don't know if you saw the stats. We have 2 attacks. One is a bite and one's the tail. And you can't make the same one against the same target. But if you bite them, you literally bite them and hold them in your mouth. So.
And at your size, yeah. Yeah, this guy's neck just kind of strains, looking straight up at this massive dinosaur.
Now we are halfway to Godzilla, right? Like, based on what you threw out to me, we're at 5 stories.
You're taller than Dogud right now.
Excellent, as it always should be. Asmo.
Actually, you're a
I
back.
just got the I got the
taller.
we're back theme in my head right now, and I can't.
Roll back the rock to the dawn of time and eat this Goliath.
Oh,
all right, I'm gonna do the bite attack.
All right, roll your d20 plus
10.
D20 plus 10. Okay. And it plus 10 to hit, each 10 feet, 1 target hit 33.
Yeah, just roll to attack.
29?
That hits.
Natural
that hits.
19.
Wow. So roll 4d4 or 4d12. Sorry.
Plus 4 or plus a D4.
No, plus 7 and then plus a d4. Yeah.
4d12 plus 7 plus a d4.
Yeah.
Oh! Disgusting!
That's 44 points of damage, Nick.
Yeah, you rear your head back and slam down, biting onto this guy, and when you rend back up, it's just the bottom half of a man on the ground.
I turn to Denier and go,
I think it's going pretty well.
I'd agree with you.
You can finish up your movement and use your extra attack as well.
yeah, you have 50 feet of movement.
I would love to do that because I only moved 10. Asmo just looks over them and just does that toothy dinosaur grin. Let me look at Tail Whip. Forky just runs up to the blue one immediately. Just it's the worst.
Asmosaurus Rex.
And I do a Tail Whip.
Yeah, you run at him, pivoting on your left foot as you swing around to smack this dude with your tail.
All right, that's a plus 10 at feet. Do I? Okay, so I do
D20 plus 10.
Yeah.
D20 plus 10. Okay.
You can just roll the D20 and then we can add 10 to it.
Oh, okay. 12. Oh.
Unfortunately, he is able to duck out of the way of your tail with a massive.
You rolled it.
Whoosh.
You rolled it.
You rolled a D10.
You have to roll a d20, Kurt.
Yeah, you have to roll a D20.
Oh, that. Oh, sorry. 13.
Yeah,
Plus 10.
23 hits. As you swing, you wham nail this guy.
So you do
As you do a sweet 360 no scope.
3d8 plus.
I'm actually going to say that due to your size, it will also hit the guy in reach.
Oh, excellent. I was wondering because it's 10-foot reach on this, Nick. So we're gonna
Cleave.
Does he get the +4 on that too?
Yeah, because of his size
Alright,
bonus.
so
13 plus 4.
Well, roll the
13
d4.
plus a D4.
You have to roll a d4.
Oh, it's 4.
Nice.
17.
All right, 17 points of damage. These guys are both clattered to the ground. They are considered prone right now due to the sheer massive force of this tail just slamming into them. They clearly have some broken ribs to this.
Can I, then he strikes, Asmo strikes the pose from the end of Jurassic Park. Could you go onto YouTube and find that sound effect? Joking, don't do it.
I'm not going to get VOD muted because this is how I get the streams.
They don't own that sound!
Either way. Continuing on the list, we got the two berserkers that you just knocked about right now, actually, are going to use their movement to get back to their feet and try to take on this T-Rex.
By the way, I took 26 points of damage, right?
Yeah, I'm holding on to that. Don't worry.
Oh, I already added the temporary hit points onto my list anyways, so it's all good.
No. I've been doing it. Don't worry about it.
One of them can't seem to pierce your leathery hide. The other one gets a nice, sharp slam into your leg with a great axe. As you take 12 points of slashing damage to your hip.
That's gonna
Or to your under knee, I guess. You can't quite reach your hip.
12 points, you said?
12 points of slashing damage.
All right.
That's them. We are up to Wolfgang.
Oh gosh. Now, how much movement would it take to mount Asmo?
Well, honestly, a really good night. Drinks and dancing, at least dancing.
I would say you'd need to be able. Okay, if you could make it to him with your movement, I would let you mount him as an action if Asmo was willing.
Oh, okay. All right.
A thought just popped in my head. Wolfgang on Asmo, yelling at him, "Get closer, Asmo! I want to hit them with my sword!"
If only you had a gun to shoot from the top of your T-Rex.
All right. In that case, I am just going to run up behind him, gun and blade in hand. And start getting rid of these fuckers.
Sounds good. Everybody in the back row and a couple of the guys in the front row are already relatively damaged. In fact, purple and orange look to be kind of out of their wits. Blue and green are now kind of not feeling good either. But everybody in the back row is injured.
I was gonna save this, but I don't like them. They hit me with an arrow, and I didn't appreciate that. So
you cut out there. Oh, there you are.
Now the crescendo is his spell focus. Wolfgang sort of drags his hand across the flat of crescendo and whips it out as sort of like this wave of blade-shaped energy crashes all of these guys' feet, about 60 feet across, in fact, and the ground under them starts to ignite.
All right.
And then it rises up in a wall of fire.
All right. What is the save for them to try to make?
Wall of fire is a dexterity saving throw.
All right, something that they have a little bit of, but not a lot of. What's your save DC?
16.
All right, one save. All right, the second guy in the line saves. But
Okay.
As he adjusts his way away from the massive wall of erupting flame coming from beneath. Whoosh. Why did I do that?
Whoosh.
There we go. Whoosh. The rest of them take max damage. This guy, I guess, takes half.
Yep, and that is cast at 5th level. So they will be taking Wall of Fire, level 5, 1878. Wow.
Oh my lord.
2 1s on that one. It's going to be 25 plus 4 is 29 fire damage.
Okay, so for the ones in the background who look down at their feet as it begins to get warmer and warmer, before they realize they are reduced to ash. This guy remains alive, but scorched horrifically.
I'm not. Are you pinging any particular guys?
The one that's left.
The archer.
Oh. Okay. That one. Sorry.
So let me get them off my initiative order. Oh, and him.
And
right.
with my bonus action, I will pop a use of my healing light to heal myself for 1d6. I heal 2.
All right. These guys are all going to attempt to continue to surround Asmo as best they can. Just trying their damnedest to take down this massive creature.
Like the raptors going after him.
All right. I'm just going to roll both of these guys at the same time since they're next to each other on the initiative order. Oh, we got a nat 20 and a 18 to hit, so both those hit. One's a nat 20. There are all my good dice rolls. The nat 20 is 25 points of slashing damage as he buries it deep in your knee.
Oh boy.
Alright, what's the other damage?
Sorry, what was that?
What's the rest of the damage? I'm just going to calculate.
The remaining damage is 14 points of slashing damage as the other one just cracks into it keeps trying to chop you down little by little, aiming for your ankle.
Alright. It's still going.
But the Asmosaurus Rex does not quit. Remaining archer is up now. Who wants to move as far away from this burning wall as possible.
Probably a good idea.
Yeah. Again, the massive creature is the target. He has multi-attack. That is... you said it has a 13 AC?
Yeah.
Then both of those hit.
Okay.
It's a big dinosaur.
He's a dinosaur. That is 11 plus 9. That's 20 points of damage total as he fires 2 arrows square at the chest of the dinosaur.
Okay.
Still standing?
Yep.
That is a mighty, mighty dinosaur. All right. T-Wig, you're up.
All right. I think that's a lot of boys there. That's a lot of boys there. I am going to cast... So I just want to double check the range on this. 20-foot point. 20-foot cube? Oh, perfect. So I'm going to hit all these boys here.
All right, so the guys at the north of Asmo there?
Yeah, I'm casting Erupting Earth.
Ooh.
So, wow. What a great roll.
DC 12 dex save. Let me see.
Yeah. That's not a DC 12. It's calculated. It's DC 16. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Let me re-roll that then, because I didn't...
This
Fail. Whoops, sorry. Should only roll 1. Fail, save. So
okay, well, they take a whopping
one
4
saves.
damage. Because I rolled a 3 and a 1 on my 2d12s.
It should be 3d12s.
I believe it's only 2.
Your spell says it takes 3d12 bludgeoning damage on a failure.
Oh!
So
well,
that's...
this spell's very poorly programmed, then. I'll roll another d12.
All right.
12! I'll take
that. Adds it. Okay,
There
so
you go.
16 total points of bludgeoning damage.
And half to the other fellow who saved.
Yeah, have to orange. So he takes... And this guy's down. Orange and purple look to be kind of at their limit. Green is seems fairly inconvenienced here, but he's trying to pull himself back up. All right. After T-Wig, we have Denier.
As well.
Difficult terrain? Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have any movement or anything you'd like to make? Bonus actions?
No, I'm just gonna stay prone. Actually, no, I'm gonna do a little military shuffle forward. I'm gonna stay down.
All right, Denier, your turn.
Can I see green and red archer from here?
Green and red?
Yeah, the archer.
He's kind of on the other side of Asmo. But every now and again when Asmo shifts, you can get glimpses of him.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to move over here so I can get sight on him. Daenerys lifts his hand up in the air, almost in a gun motion, slowly points it at the archer, and he fires off magic missile at 2nd level at that archer.
All right. Go ahead and roll your damage as these massive balls of arcane energy go spiraling through the air.
Let's see.
Not bad.
4, 8, 13 damage.
13 points of damage to the archer.
NB.
As one after the other pelts him, bam, left, right, across the face, in the gut. He goes down to a knee, but is able to pick himself back up. He's very feeble, though. Like, you can see his joints shaking as he stands back up. Asmosaurus Rex.
I'll go over at the blue one at my ankle. Just gonna take a bite.
Big old biterino.
Big old biterino, indeed. Oh my lord, this is... Oh, wait, did I not... Put that... Oh, so let me close that. Okay,
D20
there we go.
plus
Got
10.
it now here. Alrighty, yes. D20 plus 10.
Oh,
Natural.
fuck.
Roll
So,
20.
How many D12s?
okay.
That's
come
gonna be doubled, so that's going to be
6
8d12.
8d12 plus 2d4
Yeah,
plus
8?
7.
yeah. The 7's not
8.
doubled. So 8d12
on. Plus 7?
plus 7.
8d12 plus 7 plus 2d4.
50. 2d4, you said?
Duty
Yeah.
I'm
53.
total of oh you already had the plus 7. Okay, so 53 damage. Yeah, you bend down to him and he it's like that scene of that dude on the toilet in Jurassic Park. He said, "No!" As you stand back up, you drip the blood over his remaining companions and give a sizable crunch, crushing his skull and the remainder of his body in your jaws.
Guys, it's no
he's-
different than eating a squirrel as a human. It's no
So,
different.
He's
Lani,
gone.
how's the morale for the rest of the battlefield going now that they're seeing this happening?
These guys aren't doing so hot. They're not happy, but they are warriors through and through. You can see that they are shaken, but they are steadfast in their goals.
But
I
not
activate.
stirred.
I activate my tail whip attack. 15 plus 10, 25.
I'm gonna say you can hit all three of those guys with that one swing.
And
There'll
that
be
is
the one of them will take full damage. The other two will take half damage.
3.
Which one do you want to take? Which one do you want to take full damage? It has to be one on the end.
That stupid green one.
All right, Greenie's gonna take full damage. The other two will take half.
Huzzah! And that is 14 points of damage.
Plus
Plus
a
your
D4.
Plus the D4. 2. 16 points of damage for all three. Tail whip!
16 on Greenie, who takes a sizable crunch and is smacked into his companions. While they're trying to dig themselves out, as he's being carried with the tail, his body is used to basically snap their necks as he flies across them,
Oh God.
and they crumple to the ground. I will say he got carried this way by the tail for flavor. And he
kill.
again shaken, gets up, feebly holds his battle axe, and funny enough, it is his turn.
I
was
have
gonna
the
take a big-
biggest smile on my face right now.
This is my favorite. This guys, I'm not gonna lie. This is my favorite part of Meet the Robinsons. It is, without a shadow of a doubt, it's the best part of the movie.
And from the edge of his grave, he swings in with his axe. Oh damn, that's full damage, doing 17 points of slashing damage.
You're no longer a T-Rex.
And as you scream into the air, as this thing buries deep into your dino junk, you shrink down to Asmo size, and you see the most confused, horrified, and pain-filled face looking you in the eye.
For flavor, can I vomit on him now?
Yeah, you upchuck a bunch of... Yeah, you vomit his friend's remains in his face.
Kurt, you take layover damage of 5 damage to your total health pool.
Right,
So
Asmo takes 5.
yeah, so you take 5 damage of your full health that you have as Asmo. So
There we go.
Wolfgang, your turn.
I've just got my hand on his shoulder.
Wolfgang says, "Go to work, Osmo. Guess we'll just And Wolfgang runs up behind this motherfucker and just starts swinging with Crescendo.
Just cuts his head.
All right, here we go. Crescendo. 26.
Yeah, that hits.
Yeah, you got him. Yeah.
11 slashing.
And as the bile, blood, and bones are being sprayed across him, you end his suffering by decapitating this man.
I put my hand on his opposite shoulder and I'm like, man, I'm really sorry about that. That's fucked up. Swing!
Swing.
Bonus action, gunslinger. Gonna whip out my now non-magical crescendo, or requiem. Point it, arch over here.
Click, click.
Go ahead and roll to hit.
12.
That is going to miss.
Beans.
All right. Hold on, I need to mark this guy as fucking dead.
Yeah, a lot of them kind of fucking die.
Yeah, they're not having a good day there.
No,
All right.
it's fucking not. You say think it's one day, but then you're fighting a damn T-Rex.
It is the archer's turn still. He saw that you pointed a gun at him, and he's a warrior through and through. 12 and a 16 to hit, so one of these will hit you, Wolfgang.
Yep.
You take 12 points of piercing damage.
Ow!
Yeah, full damage from this thing. As he's just sitting there panting, he fires one arrow. It careens it shoots way over your shoulder. The other one embeds, kind of gets caught in a rib. And you can feel it crack.
Fuck.
It is now T-Wig's turn.
okay. How far away is this man? Oh, that's the wrong button. Yes! I run! I think that's as far as I can go. Sorry, I'm trying to do math here.
You can probably move a few... Yeah, there we go.
I cast bees on this man.
Bees!
Oh shit. Sorry. First one. I accidentally clicked it twice.
No worries.
Makes a constitution saving throw.
Bees?
The one stat Goliaths have, and he rolls a 2 on the die. God
Hell
damn it.
yeah!
Full,
Bees!
as a swarm of bees goes hurtling at this guy, how do you want these bees to kill this man?
I want to be like termites, where they like all kind of like bombard his head, like who's the guy? Not the bees, not the bees.
I mean,
Nicolas
if-
Cage.
Nicolas Cage.
And
Okay.
like covers his face, and like slowly, you don't even see the gore, just like slowly kind of chews him all the way down.
Okay, so
If I could make a suggestion, the wall of fire is right there.
Oh
hold on.
yeah,
He'd have to be able to move to do that.
yeah. He does.
So
when the bees attack them,
Okay.
he moves in random directions.
you
so
do have to roll a d4 for that, though. I will say that
All right.
the continuation
If it-
of this.
If it heads west, then yes. But if not, I just
Yeah.
want to get eaten by the bees.
Go ahead and roll a d4.
All right, D4. That's a 4.
No way!
Yeah!
So, okay, let me play this out for you as you're looking as this man's looking kind of self-assured in the fact that he dealt a little bit of remaining damage to his foes. A small smile creeps across his face as the sound of a buzzing begins echoing. He looks over towards you, T-Wig, to see this large cloud approaching him. His eyes go curious, and then widens as he realizes they're heading straight for his face. As they swarm around his face, he begins flailing, dropping his bow, scrambling about, rolling on the floor, and then running as fast as he can, burning himself and the bees to cinders. These men are no more.
Hell yeah!
Oh my fucking god. That was the most one-sided beatdown.
Well, I mean, you made someone a super dinosaur. I mean, like, it's not just a dinosaur.
And,
Bob,
dinosaur.
I'm so glad we got
Plus.
to do that.
As you revel in your victory, having vanquished yet another squadron, the cannon fires off and you hear the loud thudding footsteps and this almost Haka-like chant of the remaining Goliath that have swarmed to Theranak's side. As he brings down, as you can see the massive thundercloud that has been building overhead, a massive bolt of lightning sears down towards the top of the tower. As Theranak approaches you.
Oh boy.
Ready for the main course. And we'll pick up here next time.